Hello, friends of Oak Hills. This is Pastor Dale, and I'm here with our weekly video Touchpoint. Today is Thursday, May 18th, 2023. I continue our series on A Praying Church, a book written by Paul Miller. This is part 10. If you were wondering how long the series would be going, we just have a couple more weeks. There are 25 chapters in the book, and I've been aiming to do at least 2 chapters each week as I go through the series. So we're near the end of the book. We got a little bit more, a couple more weeks. It's been rich. I've been really enjoying this. I hope you've been benefiting from it. And maybe perhaps it's been teasing you a little bit to read the book yourself. That would be wonderful if people in our church would read it as well. It's a rich book. It's a challenging book. It's an encouraging book. I love what it says about prayer. But this is part 10. Let me dive into the article. In this series of articles, I seek to unpack the teaching of Paul Miller's new book, A Praying Church, and apply the principles to our church. As we grow in our prayer habits, may we become people of hope in a discouraging world. Continuing his discussion about the art of praying together, Miller gives some more practical guidance for helping a church become a praying church. In addition to starting small and prioritizing time to pray together, which I covered last week, Miller commends restoring prayer to Sunday morning and aiming for resurrection hope when praying for problems. Let me highlight some of his ideas here. Miller states, quote, "In general, the death of Wednesday prayer meeting has been accompanied by a weakening of Sunday morning prayer as well," end quote. In other words, as the value of prayer is diminished in the weekly worship gathering on Sunday mornings, the value of prayer will be diminished throughout the entire life of the church. For instruction and encouragement, Miller draws attention to the practices of the early church. He writes, quote, "The early church believed that corporate prayer joined them to divine power," end quote. He then gives some practical points on how a church might elevate the place of prayer in a Sunday morning worship service. And I'm happy to say that we already practiced some of his suggestions at Oak Hills, and we'll take in consideration some of the other suggestions he gives. But he concludes, quote, "When Sunday morning includes time for extended prayer, it fosters a culture of prayer," end quote. When Miller speaks about aiming for resurrection hope, he is aiming to direct our prayers, towards the promises of God. He grants, quote, "Prayers deal with problems," end quote. The challenge with this is when our prayer requests focus on problems God has not promised to alleviate in this life. For example, God has never promised perfect health, nor wealth, nor even physical comfort for his followers in this life. It is not necessarily bad to pray for health and healing from ailments, but if that is all we focus on in our prayers, we are in danger. Miller explains, quote, "Concentrating on evil overwhelms the good. When that happens, we lose hope," end quote. And again, he says, quote, "Hearing a litany of low-level medical problems that don't go away actually breeds doubt about God's ability to answer prayer," end quote. So Miller offers 3 steps to help protect against losing hope when praying for problems. First, we should enlarge our heart to the person suffering. This means we should be compassionate with the person who is enduring physical ailment that doesn't seem to go away. Second, we should enlarge the sufferer's heart by praying for the complete person. We ought not merely pray for the relief of pain, but also for the heart and the mind and the soul of the person who is suffering. Paul's prayers in his letters provide examples of how we can pray for the whole person while he or she is suffering. One of my favorites to pray is from Colossians 1:11, where Paul prays, quote, "May you be strengthened with all power according to his glorious might for all endurance and patience with joy," end quote. Third, we should enlarge the sufferer's vision to other sufferers. A narrow focus on one's own suffering only intensifies the suffering. Putting one suffering in perspective with the suffering of believers across the globe and throughout the ages helps to strengthen one for steadfastness in the midst of suffering. As he concludes this chapter, Miller warns, quote, "The problem behind the problem-centered prayer meeting isn't just a missing resurrection focus, it's a self-centered focus," end quote. The counterbalance to aim for is to let our prayers cling to the promises of God. He has promised joy and peace and hope and steadfastness and patience and soul-satisfying comfort and spiritual power. By turning the attention of our prayers to the resurrection promises, we help our church become a praying church. Just a few highlights to touch on this week in the life of Oak Hills. Once again, as always, we encourage you to be praying for our missionaries of the month. In this month of May, we are praying for Kirby and Mary Ingalls. Kirby and Mary are members of Oak Hills. They live in Leavenworth, and Kirby now serves with Fathers in the Field. It's a non-for-profit organization that seeks to equip the church to minister to and mentor and serve boys in the community around the church who are growing up without fathers. Kirby serves as a church liaison or representative for Fathers in the Field. He is working in the Midwest region where he meets with churches and it gives them the tools, the training, and everything to be equipped to serve with Fathers in the Field and reach out to fatherless boys. He has a powerful testimony behind this and he has a conviction for it. We are aiming to launch our own ministry of Fathers in the Field at Oak Hills, which he is working with our team to be prepared and equipped for that. So we're excited to be a part of that, but be praying for Kirby as he travels, pray for his family, and pray for the ministry outreach. Secondly, this Sunday is our last Sunday for Sunday school before our summer break. So we will conclude our class on technology in my soul that we've been focusing on in our adult Christian education hour, and our children's Sunday school classes will wrap up on Sunday morning as well. So I encourage you to come on out, even if you haven't been coming, come this week for one last Sunday and enjoy the benefit of these classes that we provide. Third, don't get out of the habit, though, of coming to church at 9:30 on Sunday morning, because the following Sunday, May 28th, our team who is traveling with Sacred Road for our missions trip this summer, July 1st through the 8th, they are hosting a pancake breakfast on that Sunday morning, Sunday, May 28th at 9:30 in the morning, serving up pancakes as a fundraiser to raise more funds for their trip. We'd love to see the church family come on out, enjoy that fellowship. It's an opportunity just to be together with one another while supporting our team and enjoying a good breakfast together before worship service. So come on out by 9:30, enjoy the breakfast, and then, of course, be with us for worship. Fourth, we love fellowship, we love food, and we love being together. So on Sunday, June 4th, we are holding our summer kickoff church family picnic. So immediately following the worship service, we will make our way over to West Flanders Park. It's just about a quarter mile north of the church building, and we'll be grilling hot dogs, brats, and enjoy a fellowship meal. We ask members to provide side dishes or desserts to fill out the meal, but it's a beautiful time. It's an enjoyable time to kick off the summer together. So plan to come and be a part of our church picnic on June 4th. And then following that week, we have Joyplosion. Every year we are delighted to host Joyplosion. It is always a blast for our volunteers. It's a blast for kids. And it's just a neat way to minister not only to our own kids, which we love to do and we want to do, but it's also a way to reach out and minister to kids from the neighborhood and the community. So pray for our efforts as we make this known and invite people to come. We encourage you to be inviting friends and coworkers and neighbors to participate in Joyplosion this year. It's a wonderful time. It's just 3 evenings, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening. Awesome activities, various other things going on, great music, and the Bible lessons this year focusing on the blessing that God directed Aaron in number 6. So looking forward to it. I hope you can participate and be with us. Thank you for joining me to this day for our weekly Touchpoint. We look forward to seeing you soon. God bless.